I welcome you all to this class. So we'll be looking at rational and irrational numbers. And when we talk about rational numbers, we are talking about numbers that can be expressed in the form of what? In the form of fraction. So numbers that can be expressed in this form, P over what? Over Q, are regarded as what? As rational numbers, okay? Where our P is what? Our P is an integer, and they can be what? They can be positive or negative whole numbers, okay? Now, our Q is not equals to what? 0, because 0 cannot divide a number. So what are the examples of rational numbers? So examples are what? All whole numbers. Whole numbers, okay? Positive whole numbers such as what? 1, 2, 3, 4, etc. Okay? And negative whole numbers such as what? -1, -2, -3, -4, and so on. Okay? All these are regarded as what? Rational numbers. So we can as well regard decimals as rational numbers. Okay? We can regard decimals. So decimals that are terminating. So we have terminating decimals such as what? Such as 0.5. We know that 0.5 is the same thing as what? 1 over 2. We have 0.75, which is what? 3 over 4. We have minus 0.75, which is what? Which is minus 3 over 4. So decimals that you know their exact value, their exact fraction, are regarded as what? As rational numbers. So you also have another kind of decimal, which we call repeating decimals. So you can have repeating decimals such as what? Such as 0.333. So this is an example of what? Repeating decimal. And here you know the exact value, which is what? 1 over what? 3. So this can be regarded as what? As rational numbers. Okay. So let's look at irrational numbers. Irrational numbers. So when we talk about irrational numbers, these are numbers that cannot be expressed in the form of fraction. So they cannot be expressed like P over what? Q. Okay. Now, these numbers, we don't know their exact value. What we make use of is their approximate value, such as what? Such as the square root of what? 2, the square root of what? 3, the square root of 5, the square root of what? 6, the square root of 7, and so on. If pi can also be regarded as what? Irrational numbers, and Euler's numbers are regarded as what? As irrational numbers, because we don't know their exact values. What we make use of is their approximate value. Now, let's take, for example, let's take square root of 2, for instance. Now, you'll find out that the square root of 2 is 1.4142, and the number continues. But here we approximate it to what? To 1.4142. So we make use of the approximate value. Now, pi, for instance, will give you 3.14 something. Okay, it continues. But here we make use of the approximate value, which is what? 3.142. Okay, so numbers that we don't know their exact value, rather we make use of their approximate values, are regarded as what? As irrational numbers. So that brings us to the end of this topic. Our next topic will be on what? Will be on surd. Okay.